All right. We're kicking off here today with some Naya eyes in Historic. So Naya refers to the color combination here of green, red, and white. Eyes is Sentinel's Eyes here. So Sentinel's Eyes, an enchant creature that people are probably familiar with from the blue-white enchantments deck. So enchanted creature, it's 1/1 and Vigilance. So why are we kind of splashing white for Sentinel Eyes in this deck? So Combat Celebrant and Glorybringer here both have the Exert mechanic. And the Exert mechanic says you can choose to not have this untapped during your next turn. And if you do, you get an extra effect off of it. However, exerting does not explicitly tap the creature because the game just kind of assumes things are going to be tapped from attacking when you go to exert. So if you have Sentinel's Eyes or something like to where they never tap to attack, or Kiora to untap them, you can exert things like Combat Celebrant and Glorybringer every single turn. So the rest of this shell is kind of a Gruul monster style shell. Because I was splashing in white for Sentinel's Eyes, I've also got Lyra and Baneslayer here at the top end as some anti-red cards. Just good quality other threats here for the rest of it. Let's go ahead and dive on into some games here with this and see how it goes. See if we have what it takes to cut through some arrows. Ooh, it's a tough one, lyrics. I think I'm supposed to mulligan this with the red sources. This is, I was gonna say much better, but kind of neutrally better. Sentinel's Eyes is also cheeky with Paradise Druid, which is fun. Let the arrowing shall continue until morale improves, chat. What's going on, Hooker? Thanks for the 5 months. Welcome back. Correct, Sunshine. We're using Sentinel's Eyes here. Something we did with when it was in Standard was there was a card called Always Watching, I think was Standard legal with some of the Exert cards for a little while. Ooh. So I can cast this whilst playing around Censor. Swamp is actually pretty scary to see because Swamp means they could be on Extinction Event as opposed to other sweepers. An Extinction Event will exile my Rekindling Phoenix. Yeah. So normally Rekindling Phoenix is very good against these interactive decks. However, they've been printing such a huge swath of, effects like that's just really not the case anymore. I think I'm supposed to lead on Kiora here so I can draw a card with this questing beast. I don't know though. I'm gonna put Sentinel's Eyes on here and attack for 2 at least. Morning, Beansy. Super punished for trying to get value off my questing beast. Hoping for a Glorybringer here. Their search for Escanta is getting close to flipping here. They're still at 10. We do at least have Kiora, so like, if we hit a string of 5+ power things, maybe we can cantrip through. This lets us draw 4+ power things. We can draw some cards, perhaps. And again, a lot of that just like crossing your fingers and hoping that your threats line up well into their answers. If our opponent had been on Languish or Ritual Assault instead of Extinction Event, we likely win this game very easily. But because they were on Extinction Event, we just get hosed. Yeah, if you want to submit something, Beansy, if you can use the form, that would be ideal. It just helps me keep track of things. So, Vivien's an extra Scavenging Ooze here for sure. Baneslayer Angel doesn't seem particularly useful. Bonecrusher Giant, probably not great against a lot of their stuff. I know they had Extinction Event as their sweeper, but I'm going to bring in the Rekindling Phoenix anyways, because they're not always going to have that one. Rest of this seems... Maybe I'm in for Thalia. I have 6 non-creature spells, 6 non-creature spells. Let's bring in the Thalias, huh? Some extra threats in. Hand has lands and spells and all of our colors against the Thoughtseize deck, so definitely a keep. Yeah, mid-range aggro, if you want to stick to the traditional archetypes, I think a little bit non-traditionally, I would refer to this deck that we're playing as like a monster-style deck. Would be the vernacular jargon I would use. Sounds good, Beansy. I think I want to try some more. I mean, we're going to see more Sultai Panda Ninja because it's objectively the best deck in the format and it's not close. I think Sultai and the Hallowed Fountain Uro decks are what's monsters mean. Yeah, things that have like good attack and defense, basically. Big scary monsters. We're still going to see, and like, it really feels like we're watching history repeat itself in that, like, they banned Field of the Dead in Standard, and then the same colors in a different ramp shell was still the best deck in the format, and we're seeing that repeat itself again here in Historic, where Sultai Field was the best deck in Historic, and then they incorrectly banned Field of the Dead, and a different Sultai ramp deck is still just the best thing to be doing. Yeah, bud. What do you need, bud? If you need to spell something, you can bring the Switch in here, but I can't come out there while I'm working. You need to what?
Let's get moving.
Hey, Panda, let's get your sword to go with the shield. We're gonna close my door because they're both being real loud. I think we just want vigilance here. I think.
I call, and Ikoria answers.
So that way we can attack and block. Okay, so I don't know, Pickle. It seems like it would be kind of tough to break into. So I have a decision to make here. So Vivien lets me untap Vivien lets me play creatures off the top of my deck. So I could play Rekindling Phoenix to draw a card. However, they have Scarab God, so it's kind of appealing to play Scavenging Ooze and clear out my graveyard. Although I guess I could play this and then Sentinelize onto it. Hey, Dude Light, thank you for the very generous tip. I appreciate that. Let's do that actually. So the Sentinel's Eyes here lets me exile my graveyard, which is nice. What's up, bud?
Play a game up there. With Minecraft.
Yeah, you can play whatever you want, bud.
I'd like you to meet my friend.
How?
Stop.
Bring the Switch in here and I'll help you set it up. Oh, let me see what that tip was for from Dude Light 2. Whoop. Where are we at? Isn't Plague Wind fun for Lux Leona? Sounds good, dude. Plague Wind is fun. I enjoy it. At least we're getting to draw cards with this, I suppose. You need to get the Minecraft cartridge, bud. Oh, pick that up, careful. So if I shock this in, I can undiddle this, and I can play Scavenging Ooze. And like, maybe we can race with this. There aren't creatures in graveyards here, at least, which is nice. Yeah, it was Extinction Event that happened. You find the Minecraft cartridge? Got it? Alright. That's a Nissa. Nissa really isn't that big of a deal here. Kind of surprised that... I guess they're like guaranteed... They're guaranteed killing my Kiora this way. So, the question is, do I want to kill their Nissa? I'm not sure the answer to that is yes. If I leave their Nissa in play, I get to kill them next turn. Now, the downside to leaving Nissa in play is it leaves them enough mana to cast Ugins. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this flips to 7. So if I kill the forest and kill Nissa, they can't Ugin me next turn. So the question is, do I want to kill Nissa or do I want to hit their face? I think I just attack them and just hope to fade Ugin in 2 cards here. Is the plan. This exerts for free because it's not tapping anyways. Yeah, I think we just hope to dodge Ugin here, and they top the card, so I assume it's Ugin and we're dead. It could just be a piece of spot removal. Oh, I guess if it's a piece of spot removal, they get to Scarab got it back and then hit me, which also wouldn't be great. You want to create a new map, Jake? I mean, we couldn't play around Pulse, right? You want just a normal island map? Or do you want the Mario level?
I want a normal island map.
Okay. You want me to turn TNT off?
Yes. Okay. Yes. Now, no, boy. No TNT out, Baba.
No TNT allowed. Got it.
Got it.
Okay, here you go. Have fun. So we're dead because our deck's not competitive against Sultai because Sultai's S tier in this format. Oh. I'm gonna give it a fair shake, but I think there's a chance that, like, if Magic continues to be a stinker through the weekend, that I'm gonna change to doing only one Magic deck per day every day next week and just stick to one Magic deck a day until rotation happens. Historic's been really bad since they... Luris of the Dream Den. So, this hand... Gosh, can our deck beat the Enchantments deck? Probably not. Hopefully they're playing the Pyromancer deck. How'd you feel about Historic before they banned Field, but after they banned Teferi? That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the format then. Before this most recent banning, Historic was fantastic. I was enjoying the ladder, the metagame, and the open events that we had been playing was good. But it honestly, it feels like the ramp decks got better when they banned Field of the Dead because people had to stop playing Field of the Dead, and the threats that they're playing instead of Field of the Dead are much harder to beat. Like, it feels like they banned Field and it forced people to build better decks because they banned the card that was making their decks worse. Like, decks like look at this deck, for example, that we're playing here today, right? Like, Questing Beast, Glorybringers, Rekindling Phoenix, Flying Angels, like, all of these tools were great against Field of the Dead, and aggressive mid-range decks like what we're playing could be really competitive there because it was very easy to attack those decks with the tools that we have, but there really aren't good tools that let these decks attack Uro, Nissa, Ugin. The Uro, Nissa, Ugin, Hydroid Krasis decks are so much more difficult for our monster-style deck to be competitive against because there aren't, like, there aren't catch-all tools for answering those cards. All of the ways in which you answer Uro, Nissa, and Hydroid Krasis leave behind value that beats you up still, is the problem. I don't know, maybe like ban mania isn't over and we're just like en route to another set of bannings happening and we just have to like slog through it and wait. There definitely won't be any more changes to Historic before the Invitational, which is a week and a half from now, I believe, so it's definitely going to rot at least till then. Oh, you wanted the island level. Bring the Switch back out here and I can help you pick that up. I've picked out the wrong Minecraft level, chat. So, Lyra's just gonna die here. Oh wait, no, Heartless Act costs 2, so they have to be able to pump the attack on this to kill Lyra. That's nice. Yep.
Daddy, look! How crazy! How crazy, Daddy? How crazy that? How crazy is that, Daddy? How crazy is that?
It's kinda crazy, you're right. So we got Bonecrusher Giant here to maybe find something. That's nice. So we can race with Lyra, which is pretty hard. That is a Digimon game that your father's going to play at some point when time permits. So probably never.
All you do that.
This one? This one here? Skyblock?
Yeah, Skyblock, okay. Skyblock. Well, we kept Buttercup by the island. Well, we Buttercup by the one.
God bless the Thoughtseize bug, chat. God bless the Thoughtseize bug. Never fails.
You never fail, Daddy.
Alright, hold on. Let Daddy sideboard, and then I will set your level up. So we're bringing in all of our removal here, I think. Unfortunately, Combat Celebrant is really awkward in this matchup, because it's a 4-1, and they have a lot of 1-1s. No hands. I think I'm going to trim these as extra piece of top end. The lifelink's kind of okay, but it doesn't seem super relevant here. I think this is the one you want. Let's let it load up and make sure it's the one you want this time, okay? Okay, let's make sure it loads real quick, okay? I don't want you to find out it's the wrong one and then need to come back in here again, okay? I love you, dude.
Papa do, okay?
You're the dude?
I the do. I the do.
This the one you wanted?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
That it?
That it? Okay. Walk really nice. Don't drop the switch. For people that are new to the stream and can't detect sarcasm, by the way, there isn't a Thoughtseize bug. The Thoughtseize bug is when they take your card and then you immediately draw the card they just took. It's a bug that also happens in paper. Bug. It's one of the reasons why targeted discard is such a medium design, because like targeted discard really makes people feel salty. Digimon game. I have a Digimon Cyber Sleuth was something that several people in the subs Discord recommended when I was talking about Pokemon Sword and Shield for the Nintendo Switch. At some point, I'm doing variety segments on the weekends. We will get to some Digimon on the weekends, I think. I have a capture card that I can use to stream the Switch games. What's your stance on Digimon versus Pokemon? I liked Digimon. I like the Digimon world a little bit better, I think, but I think the Pokemon characters are more relatable and engageable, and the IP is more fleshed out. Digimon was never as popular here in the States. Can you put this towards your favorite Ezreal deck? I definitely can, Fox. Thank you for the generous tier 3 and the 17 months at that. I'm glad you're enjoying the Runeterra stuff. I know I am too. Are the crosshairs on your mouse new? I'm sure that's an arena feature. An easy karma, so any useful additions? I don't think so. Some people have been playing Ezreal with the new gem mechanic. Yeah, some people have played Ezreal with the gem mechanic. It seems okay. I guess I play a dragon on defense here. It gets Heartless Act. We curl up and die. Okay, that's not bad. I'm playing in a, there's a small Runeterra Invitational tournament. It's having 32 people playing it for, I think it's a $2,000 prize pool. So not like huge esports money, but a bunch of people playing. So I need to find, it's a 3-deck format tournament. So need to figure out 3 decks that don't overlap regions to play in that. Is this last card a piece of removal? It is. So they actually don't have anything Luris can recast in their bin right now. So I get to just shock this. So like we kind of traded 1-for-1 abouts here. And like they get to play this. Hopefully we peel an Abrade or something. Oh, that is how it works, isn't it? I had pointed out someone else messed that up against us earlier on stream. You're right. If you kill this before it exiles itself, it doesn't. But then it would be back in the graveyard for Luris, so that's kind of a wash, right? I think how we ended up playing worked out. Because, like, if I had stomped it, it wouldn't have made the 5-5 then, but it would have been in the bin and they would have made a 5-5 later. Sure, this is like a fair trade, right? They basically traded their shock for my Bonecrusher Giant. So, my opponent's drawn 6 lands in 18 cards, right? I guess they have 9 lands in 18 cards, about half. Yeah, they're about half too. So, have to draw Baffling End, or we're dead here. Rekindling Phoenix, also okay. This is in the solidly not dead yet category, but have to draw Baffling End next turn. Yeah, Croxa is probably the best draw of their deck. This is lethal. They'll get to fame this, and then the Croxa trigger plus a 4-ball kills us. Hopefully we can see one of our 4 copies of Scavenging Ooze this game. Tires are not cheap, but they're also something you don't want to cheap out on. I hear Goodyear tires are great if you're in the market for tires. This stream's not sponsored or endorsed by Goodyear tires, but Donald Trump tried to cancel them, so you should probably give them money. I did get Goodyear. God bless. You're 3-0 versus Kisis with Sultai Ramp. That's because Sultai Ramp is very good, and Kisis is very bad. Oh, you were saying the opposite. You're the Kisis player, and they're the Sultai Ramp player. Sure. Sometimes your cheesy deck's gonna cheese. And again, like, this is the thing people don't understand. Like, the Sultai deck is really good and sucks to play against and is everywhere. An appropriate response to that is not, I beat Sultai sometimes. Because, like, I beat Field of the Dead all of the time, and they still banned that. So maybe if I complain enough, they'll ban Uro. So that's the goal. Wizard of the Coast has shown us that the way that they will address their formats is for people to complain endlessly about them. So, can't let up the heat, chat. If you have Vigilance, can you exert every turn? Yes, that is the idea behind the deck that we are playing. That's also true. Like, does most Sultai ramp decks probably don't currently care about Kisis because it hasn't really put up results. So, like, that could be subject to change as more things get added to the format. You have a favorite magic artist? No, not really. Heartless Act this one. Shock this one. If they attack, I'm not blocking. Okay. 14. Yeah, next turn we can block. Is correct. Is drawing my anti-graveyard card against the graveyard deck good, chat? Please let me know in the comments below. Do I have a least favorite magic artist? Oh, there's so many people magic artists to hate, though. How can you possibly force me to choose between Therese Nielsen and Noah Bradley? The Therese Nielsen, for people that are asking, is very far down the alt-right info wars rabbit hole, like conspiracy theory, donates artwork to be raffled off at alt-right type thingamahoozits. Like, it's not a good look. She's QAnon. That's a good, yeah. Also done a number of said or supported a number of very number of transphobic things. All right, so this Scavenging Ooze doesn't discriminate. Unlike Therese Nielsen, Scavenging Ooze doesn't discriminate. It'll lead out of anybody's graveyard, so we can eat this one out of our bin here as well. They go to shock it. I'm gonna eat this thing again here in response. You have shocked my 3/3. Enjoy. Maybe I'm supposed to, like, abrade their thing in response and eat it. Yeah, that's probably what I'm supposed to do. Noah Bradley is a sexual predator. Self-admitted. In case there's anybody in my audience who is new to the channel is gonna try and simp for Noah Bradley, he's a self-admitted sexual predator, so, like, you don't even have a leg to stand on trying to defend his scumtastic ass, so don't even try. Turns out, Scavenging Ooze is very, very good against the graveyard deck. Was there a combo with Eyes I'm not seeing? Yes, Eyes is good with Exert creatures. We're on the draw. We're gonna hit some lands, chat, I believe. I believe. Exert is good with Vigilance. No, we haven't run across anybody playing the aggro variation of the Pyromancer build that we play. I agree that it felt very good. No, they took our Planeswalker Berserk control deck. They're gonna kill all of our things and make us feel sad about it. Yeah, new match. New match, same Thoughtseize. Welcome to Historic. New Thoughtseize, who dis? We died! No, this Scavenging Ooze is going the distance. It's going full speed. It's all alone in this time of need. It's racing and pacing and plotting the calls. Sacrifice a creature. Eliminate. Eliminate. And this is just a removal spell staring us in the face, right? So it can be done here. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Chase. Alright, bring in some of our more resilient anti-control threats. Bring in some Thalias to be annoying. Bring in some card advantage here. Trim the Bonecrushers that aren't crushing anything. Trim a Paradise Druid. Click submit. I got a plan for control. I don't know if it's a good enough plan, but the plan at least exists. Yeah, we are. I did have shout out to Irate for submitting the good deck. So we'll get to experience playing a good Magic deck, which I guess technically we played a good deck yesterday too, and it didn't work out so well. Although Sultai Ramp, the Uro decks are on a different metric than the non-Uro decks, so. So Moxby, glad you're enjoying it. And remember, folks, if you're a sub and you're not in the subs Discord, Runeterra, Magic, Raid, Pokemon Go, all sorts of great stuff we chat about in there. Politics, life in general. How do we feel? No, I was gonna say, how do I feel about making this an extra toughness to dodge Oath? But I don't really care if they Oath this because it comes back, right? So, go. That's not true. Like, the Blue-White Enchantments deck is a very polarizing good deck. Like, when we play a deck like Sultai Ramp that's good because it's incredibly consistent, and it's more than fine. Alright, so what do I want to do? I think we're gonna get Celebrant going here. We could possibly kill them next turn. Maybe I'm not supposed to Celebrant because this plays a threat that dies to Oath if they blink the Oath here. That's probably wrong. Are they dead? They're dead, right? Kill you? Okay. Have a little goddamn respect for the Combat Celebrant opponent. Alright, we got to do the thing. We haven't successfully accomplished the thing at least once. Even if our deck's a total dumpster fire, we can at least say we accomplished the goal. 40 minutes and 20 seconds, thing accomplished. Mom, get the camera, we did it, exactly. Alright, this hand's got our colors of mana and a curve. 'Cause it's a sneaper keeper, gonna get thought seized and be sad, very sad. Do 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 do. This is my Thalia. She's very annoying. Okay, so all their sweepers cost 4, right? So I should just play all of these out. I think I'm supposed to play Kiora here and attack them for 6. Hey, Bisphinx, thanks for the 12 months. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. It's glad to see that that's resonated with a lot of my regulars. I appreciate it. Good to have you around. Wrath of God. Oh, just Othakaya. That bodes well for our hero. How does Exert work again? You could choose to activate it when you attack. If you do, your creature doesn't untap during your next untap step. Nice, dude. Breaks are good. Pretty sure I just have to play the Scavenging Ooze, so that way I can have lethal in play. What's up, bud? This is why I untapped Paradise Druid, so they couldn't kill it with Othakaya.
But boy.
What? I don't think I can get your stuff back. I can put you on creative mode though. Okay, here you go. Now you're in creative mode, so you can get whatever stuff you want, okay? You're in creative mode. You're welcome. You're welcome, Jacob. No more survival mode. So, any of our haste threats do it here. This is 5, 6, 7, 8. We're one point short on board. What is your quest? I seek the face. The face is the place, chat. Easy game. I feel like our deck's probably okay against Esper. I don't know, probably depends on if they have Extinction Event or not. Extinction Event's a tough nut because it's really good against our Rekindling Phoenix, which is supposed to be one of our anti-control threats. They didn't draw their sweeper and we won. Yeah, that's a good observation too, right? Like, we managed to, that's definitely a big part of it as well. Like, they didn't have their sweeper, so we were able to win the game. Cross your fingers, hope they don't have it. Hashtag sometimes lucky, sometimes the 80 card deck doesn't have it. guess we draw a elf. Oh no! Oh no! Someone smart enough to be playing Uro, chat. What are you doing down here in the 80% with me, Mellow Black? That's a blue-green land in your deck. I'm supposed to play against things like Esper Control down here. Have a heart. Everybody knows the cool people are in the 80s, something like that. They all float down here, Georgie. Welcome to the 80th percentile. Alright, Questerson. Go, Gadget Questerson. Do. I think I'm supposed to exert here for little value, because it means that if their sweeper's worse next turn, I like how my It the Clown reference made you refer to the Goonies, Danon. Are those the same time frame? I feel like the Goonies is older. I guess the original, are they both 80s? The original It is pretty old, I suppose, isn't it? When was that from? $1990. Okay, it's like almost the 80s. And I'm supposed to cast this to play around the discard spell. Oh, this is the part where they escape Uro and we can no longer win. Sick. Sick beats. Beats by Dr. Uro, chat. Remember that time they wrote 2 paragraphs about why they needed to ban Field of the Dead and Uro didn't even get a mention? Pepperidge Farm remembers, chat. Pepperidge Farm remembers. Think this is a Thalia matchup. I just like leave bringing 1 Baffling End to occasionally exile Uro. The problem with using Baffling End to exile Uro is that by the time you're Baffling Ending an Uro that's in play, it's gained 6 life and drawn 2 cards and put 2 lands into play, so you probably still can't win, even if you take the Uro off the table. If you think Uro is broken, think of how beaten up we would have gotten by Cultivate there. So, this hand doesn't have red mana in it, but Kiora, in a way, is like half a red mana. So, like, if I draw a red land, Kiora gives me a second. So I think this hand is keepable, especially with 3 other castable spells. So, since we drew Stomping Ground here, I am going to shock in Stomping Ground this turn to play Kiora, and this way if my Kiora gets countered or killed, I can still cast Rekindling Phoenix next turn with the second red source drawn. She listed a lot of things that she loves there, but she didn't list Elder Giants. So is it safe to assume that Kiora also hates Uro? Yeah, and we've talked about this before, like, a lot of War of the Spark in general gets a bad rap because it had so many bad designs in it, but like Kiora specifically, I think is a fantastic example of a really awesome card out of War of the Spark that's like a 3-mana Planeswalker with static text. Like, too many people try and judge all of the different ones off of a very few, whereas like there's some good number of good designs in there. All right, that's a Scarab God. Okay. Deal.
Let's get moving.
I wish we had excuse too.
We will adapt to any.
We'll get to find excuse next turn, so that's nice.
I hope things get out of hand for you. The more the hairier.
The more the hairier, chat. This card's gonna be sweet in the fall. Really, really looking forward to her. This is a super, super playable Magic the Gathering card. Really, really looking forward to playing with Mutate in Standard in the fall. Gonna be very, very sad if Mutate ends up not playable. Let's eat this now. Let's just clear things out now. Uh-oh. I love that Jake and Declan both do that. I love that they get excited about the things in Minecraft. They come tell me about them. So I could have played this elf off the top of my deck here as well, and maybe I should have, but I kind of want to use this green to just like eat another miscellaneous card out of their bin here. So we're hoping to dodge Extinction Event here. God, Extinction Event is such a brutal card, chat. The fact that it exiles and is frequently Plagued Wind is so rough. Friendo. Do we also have one for Vivien? Do we also have one for Vivien? Okay. Insert carnival music here. Maybe playing this is wrong because of Extinction Event. It's probably the case.
I call, and Ikoria answers.
So they have enough mana to play Scarab God, copy my Questing Beast here, but I have a Rekindling Phoenix, so it's not too big of a deal. I can run back the downtick my Nissa, go find another Scavenging Ooze next turn, which is nice.
Every bard joins the chorus of roars.
We've been having another heat wave here in the middle of cornfields. Smart on their part. They're assuming I'm going to get a Scavenging Ooze, and surprise, I am. This card generates a lot of card advantage. I'm gonna untap a green source here so I can gobble up their graveyard. So the field directly behind my house is soybeans this year, but there's other cornfields in the area. Usually farmers have multiple fields and they rotate back and forth between them, between what crops they plant on them. Extinction Event would be a good draw for them. Hydroid Crisis would be a good draw for them. Casualties of War would be okay, although we're still kind of going wide, I guess. Shark Typhoon. Curious that they elected not to make the shark big enough to block the Phoenix. They have decided they cannot beat my Hungry Boy. Third Hungry Boy does it, chat. Wish I had an answer to Scarab God, but I just don't. Apparently, almost a dozen restaurants and bars in the town where I live have closed in the last week for deep cleaning because they had staff members test positive for COVID. Which is, of course, almost assuredly related to the fact that all of the college kids from all over the country returned to their dorms 2 weeks ago. Yay. Yay, unnecessary risk for greed. Who could have possibly predicted this? It does not, AJZ, so Scavenging Ooze is a pseudo answer to Scarab God if we can trade with it in combat first. Iowa just closed bars, their biggest county until mid-September. Yeah, the Illinois governor's been pretty proactive about things, so I'm expecting the Illinois governor will end up rolling back opening orders sometime soon. No, we have both a Democratic governor and a Democratic controlled state legislation in Illinois, so they've actually been fairly proactive. I'm kind of surprised they haven't rolled things back already. Do I play Scavenging Ooze? Probably. I live in Tennessee. We just don't report that employees got sick and that nobody needs to close. Ah, the Florida approach. So, I feel like I lead on Questerson here. I kind of want to try and get through their pieces of spot removal and counter spells before I play Vivien, because Vivien can generate card advantage, so I'd like her to try and stick. So we lead on our less important threats, so that way this can be likely to resolve and hang out. Bulking, thank you for the 2 months. I appreciate that. Subbing to say, screw the Wisconsin legislature for trying to undo mask mandates. Yep. That's why it all matters, chat. Like, if there's anything, like, I knew in the back of my mind that, like, my local voting matters, but, like, there's a lot of people who, like, when Bernie didn't win the primary, they're like, oh, I'm not voting now. Like, your state representative and, like, the people, your mayor of your town, these are positions that matter. Oh, right, they showed us Censor. They also showed us Shark. I think attacking with my elf last turn was loose. Yeah, not only always vote, but, like, take an hour and a half to 2 hours and, like, Google all your local election things. They matter. A lot of times, too, there will be, like, local ordinances on there that can, like, really impact you personally. Funding for specific things, schools, tax increases. I think I should have done this pre-combat, although that means waiting to play it meant I played around Censor. I would have killed them here if I would have played this last turn. Maybe I should have played Elf. I kind of wanted to play the Sentinel's Eyes last turn after combat because I wanted to play around Censor with my 5-drop, but I also didn't want this side to languish on their next turn. Please concede. Thank you. Alright, we got on the scoreboard a little bit. We got to combat. We got to Eyes plus Combat Celebrant at least once. Yeah, I think I'd call this a successful run. We've won about as much as we've lost. Alright, Naya Gates. Let's do it. Canadian A team. Thanks for the 3/4 of a year support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Hope you're staying safe up north. Listen, if Magic the Gathering can count as an esport, Fall Guys can certainly count as an esport, chat. Hey, tacos. Here's the 16 more. Thanks for the support. Welcome back. Boop, boop the snooty. We have a 5 power evasive threat here. Can close out relatively quickly, hopefully. Looking to draw Glorybringers. Heck, even Combat Celebrant. Combat Celebrant next turn means we kill them in 2 turns. Whirly boy up in the base. Shooting chains in my face. Gotta watch your auto tapper with Scavenging Ooze mana. It is not your friend. Alright, 2 more turns, sweating bullets here. Go to 14 here. Okay, so Phoenix and us just need to survive 1 more turn here. Flying is cheating, please nerf. Is that lethal? It's pretty close, huh? This is only 12, right? We're going to 15. So they can sack the Crater Maker to kill my Scoos before it kills the Chain Whirler, but you're dead in the air, so we're good. They stumbled long enough. Yay! Resource variance! Goblin Grade is lethal, definitely. That card technically exists on Arena. I think this is a matchup where our Combat Celebrant Sentinel's Eyes plan just isn't good. I'd rather just have, like, more evasive top end. Definitely want my extra Baneslayer Angel. Actually, let's trim Paradise Druids. Because they're a Chain Whirler deck. Let's do that. Bring in more removal. Yeah, Thalia art's gorgeous for sure. We're on the draw. Let's try and spike a land. Hey, morning, Blad. Flammo, thanks for the half a year. Welcome back. Halfway to the sword, indeed. Yeah, for people asking, the base idea of our deck is to put Sentinel's Eyes on Exert creatures. Pretty sure I just need to Baffling End Skirt Prospector here as opposed to Kiora, because I'd prefer not to get Muxus next turn. Is there like a mercy rule I could ask for?
Not to brag, but my friend's kind of a big deal.
Some Goblins variations are playing white for Mothra. Yeah, some sideboard cards as well. Mothra in the main, though. %1,000% to block Goblin Chain Whirler when it attacks here. I really wanted an untapped land that didn't hurt me there, so I could do this without shocking, but definitely using my mana and casting this turn. Scavenging Ooze is a great draw. If we don't die this turn, Scavenging Ooze can gain us a good bit back. Will gain us 3 next turn alone. Rover and Rover, let Chieftain come over. That's better, right?
Nature flows with vigor.
Everybody clench! You'll notice I've got a 1 Lyra split with my Baneslayer Angels. Lyra is legendary, but she makes my other Baneslayer Angels bigger, so if you draw 1 Lyra, 1 Baneslayer Angel, one of them is a 6/6. So that's why there's a split. How is it that we still don't have a save basic default in this game yet? Well, you see, Magic Arena is incredibly feature light. Sorry, I'm gonna play one more match with this deck, but my opponent's at 98%, which means they're probably trying to make a run to the top whatever at the end of the month, so I'm gonna give them a match win, because we're not gonna get there. I don't believe in taking points out of the system, so people that we get queued into that are close at the end of the month, I generally concede to. Because the Magic the Gathering Arena ladder is very stressful and annoying. Jeff, giving that person free points is like taking points away from every other person in the system, Jeff. Sure, as you will. Yeah, other 88 percenters will play against. They ain't close like we aren't close. So I played my Clifftop Retreat here, so if I draw another red source next turn, I can Rekindling Phoenix. Questing Beast, however, is looking to gobble up this Narset nice and good, so let's go. Win trading, yeah, exactly.
I shall miss your company.
You look like lunch.
I'm gonna play Rekindling Phoenix here because it plays around Censor. Obviously gonna get absorbed or neutralized or whatever other 12 counter spells they're playing. But I think it's right to play around the Censor that we saw them cycle earlier. Is there any reason to not run Wrath of God over Shatter? If you have Uro, your Shatter will sometimes draw you cards, is the upside. Also, as a heads up, using the acronym WOG is a slur in some places, so I'd prefer that you don't use it in my chat. Please and thank you. I know it's shorthand, and I know you didn't intend it that way, but just as a good heads up in general.
One drop ripples and grows.
This worked out well. Even nailed the land drop, which is nice. Yeah, it's not commonly used as a slur in the United States. But I believe in the UK it's fairly popular to be used as one. Yeah.
I'm known for my reverse.
Reverse. What is your quest? I seek the Teferi.
Let me know if you're up for that.
Many get to live vicariously through me, don't you? I spend several $100s per set release, so you don't have to. Speaking of, after Amonkhet remastered, how much money is it gonna cost to get a full Pioneer remastered playset, chat? Like, most of the playable cards in Pioneers are like rares and mythics, right? Like, obviously there's some uncommons and commons, but like, I have to imagine Pioneer Master is gonna cost like an unholy amount of money to get a full playset of, right?
The ocean surges, life thrives.
How much money do you have? Alright, we have a plan for the control matchup. I don't know that it's strictly a good plan, but it exists. We cut the life-linking angels. We bring in Vivien. We bring in extra Phoenix. We bring in Thalia. We trim a Sentinel's Eyes, individually weak card. Burn the extra Scavenging Ooze to attack their Uro in their graveyard. I do think Eyes is probably worse than Kiora for what we're trying to accomplish, which is why there's 4 Kioras and 3 Eyes. So in general, I agree with your assessment. Kiora generates card advantage as well, which is really nice. I'm going to lead on this because I would prefer neither of these get neutralized. Perhaps they will downgrade the rarity of some lesser played cards they might bring in. Oh, my sweet summer child. Come here. Come sit here on Papa Jeff's knee and let me tell you a story about Wizards of the Coast and how they like to manage their card game. Moldy Locks, thank you for the 19 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. How come the Sultai Flash list never made it to your website? So, fun fact, Sultai Flash was on my website, and I have since deleted it from there because it's not particularly competitive even without Teferi being legal. Don't scatter me again. God bless. When is Bloodshift going up? The Bloodshift deck we played actually felt super reasonable. It's like if we play that again, that's something I might add up there. Alright, so we're like 1,000% going to sweep our board next turn, right? That's the plan here. We'll get to devour most of their graveyard at least. Okay, so this is a little thing, but I'm actually going to prioritize leaving the wall in their graveyard here because my health total doesn't matter in this matchup, and leaving the wall in the graveyard is better for me if I draw another Scavenging Ooze, because this Scavenging Ooze having another power here is irrelevant. I just want to eat stuff out of their graveyard in general, so their next Uro is worse. I'm already drawing a card because of Combat Celebrant. This is the way they tuck my bird, tuck my bird, tuck my bird. One questing beast, please. It might not look like it, but we have lost this game and I'm going to concede and go to game 3. To the untrained eye, that game doesn't look over. To anybody who has experience playing Magic the Gathering, we're done here. Oh, that's a good one to end on. That's a good one. That's a good one to end on. This is where the magic happens. Yeah, I agree, Roscows. I think if you're looking for a sweet deck and you don't, if you didn't see the Bloodshift deck, that means you don't check out the favorite decks that I tag each day on YouTube and my website. Definitely worth checking that one out. It was a great set with a deck that felt sweet. As far as this goes, I think the idea of Kiora with Glorybringer is fine. I think Combat Celebrant and Sentinel's Eyes are just too cute and not really competitive. They were the build-around submission for this, but they were definitely the weakest part of this archetype. And the reason why this deck was somewhat playable was because we were a Naya Monsters deck where Kiora was good. So if you wanted to make an archetype similar to this strictly in the competitive sense, I would cut these cards. It's possible you just want to be a green-red Monsters deck, but honestly, against things like Goblins and Red Aggro, these cards have a lot of upside. You probably just do something like this with another 3 of here that you could slide in. Honestly, Vivien Monsters Advocate against the various control decks in this format, she was pretty sweet at different times as well. So like maybe you just do something like this, honestly. Because the white cards you have access to out of the sideboard are actually quite reasonable as well. Both Thalia and Baffling End are decent cards to bring into the control and the aggressive matchup. So if you're looking to play kind of a Naya monster style deck, I would recommend probably starting here. All right, at any rate, we've got a second historic deck coming up here before we shift gears to Runeterra. We are going to play some Sultai ramp up next. I'm the bad man. Be back in just a few minutes. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. Don't go anywhere. Suggestions for free to playing Runeterra.